Ebusua ya mama kwa abasonko so de ba Ghana politics avenue so ebusua ya mbowura ya asemu. Ebusua so on subscribe ya no subscribe no share no hit notification bell no so no share ama onua so anya bi. De bi ba political headline so na DP aba abadomo. Ebusua yenko yensemu. Ebusua former Maslock penya na CEO friend no Sedinam Tamakloe obepiem Ghana bone ba obepiem Ghana obe 7 ne jail terms no. Ebusua shocking news bi abetodwa amamo ka say NPP NDC 4 na ama omode na aba Ghana ba NDC 4 ne time na aso ewo abrochinti na ya abo no aba Ghana. Ebusua na omo ka say NDC 4 na ama mo sentencing into 10 years there be former attorney general Godfred ono na de ne copy court ema omo twa ne sentence de man say onko dem 10 years. Ebusua yenko tie nsem panels ne di tudwa efa Sedinam Tamakloe assembly eba de aka beto aso.
The support to be able to regularize the lands and this planning. So need and so wherever you may be, good morning to you and your subjects. You are doing an amazing job.
Right.
That all other chiefs in the region must emulate.
All right. Ideally, I should be starting from Lawyer Bediakum, but you know the NPP had clamored for Sedinam Tamakloe. Sedinam Tamakloe to be brought in. Indeed, the whole process for her extradition started back in July 2024. And Mr. Thomson, you say that that's a good step.
That is a good step. Where is she now?
She's in Ghana.
Where? In Ghana. That's what I want to know. Where in Ghana? We all are assuming that she's in Ghana. Where in Ghana?
What's your point?
You all assuming that she's down. Where? We're in this country when Kelvin Taylor was brought down and he was staying in the vice president's villa, being guarded by security and everything. So anything could happen. So we need to know.
You haven't produced evidence to that. Every day you keep saying that.
We need to know. We need to know what is going on. Fine, they've brought a good move. So far, so good. But the truth is that, what next? I saw all over social media, including their own person, Franklin Kujo, stating that they shouldn't go and file an only prosecute or go and file something and tell them that, oh, now the charges have been dropped because it was fake and false and everything. Let's hope it doesn't happen, because we all want to see the good and the good for everything. And this morning, sitting in the car too, I was hearing that they said now the Attorney General is not going to do a radio advert, but he's flying to the US to go and negotiate for Ken, which is a far better offer than coming to sit on air and announcing that this person has caused criminality in the country, and that, which is the modus operandi of himself. Now we are seeing that maybe he's going to negotiate and do something good for the country. So, Akwaba Sedinam, we want to know where she is actually. Which of the prisons? Well, is it in Sawam? Is it, what do you call it? The one in Central Region? Ankafo.
No.
Ankafo
prisons.
Yeah. Ankafo prisons, or which one? We want to know where she is. Maybe we'll visit her and give her some lunch. She needs it.
How does all this, again, paints the picture of Ghana's commitment to make sure that if you commit a crime, irrespective of who you are, you come and serve your sentence if judgment is given?
You see, I wanted to quickly, because last time on the air, I listed some of the things that she was accused of doing. I wish I could get it immediately. You know, various charges. It wasn't only one. It wasn't two. It was, I think, about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
One was the fire victims' money she spent. The other was some refund that someone gave and she spent. In fact, she misappropriated some money. I think a total of 170, but she misappropriated some. And there was a third charge. I'll try and get it to us. Maybe the others are doing this thing. But it tells us straight away that, you know, I always say that whether you like it or not, once you do something wrong, it will always catch up with you. I mean, look at what has gone on. Her name being called here and there. And you know, especially in Ghana, this is not really something that they usually put women to doing that. They believe that when you give them positions, they really manage their place very well. So everybody was expecting something better than what has happened. But it's happened. So what's the way forward? The way forward is to make sure that we don't get people repeating such offenses or such misconduct as we are seeing today. And people should take a cue from that, yes. One was the Adria microfinance incident. She embezzled 500,000, originally disbursed as a loan to a microfinance company for vulnerable entrepreneurs. The second one was the Cantonment to fire victims. Out of the 1.4 million meant to support the market victims of a fire inferno, she misappropriated a large portion, disbursing only 579,800 Ghana cedis. The sensitization fund, she misappropriated over 1.7 million meant for a poverty alleviation sensitization exercise, where out of over 85,300 intended beneficiaries, only a tiny fraction of the money was actually spent on the people. So these are the three main charges that was leveled against her. So if she's come back and she's come to serve her 10-year sentence, I believe that it's a sign of a warning to any other, especially with what we are seeing these days. If you don't know and you think you can just do what you want and walk away scot-free, definitely the law will catch up with you. Because I have always believed in one thing, that if God gives you the chance to serve, you serve with your whole heart and your whole mind. The monies meant for people should be given to people. That shouldn't be your jackpot, or that shouldn't be the yardstick for you to say that, oh, this is my time, so let me make good use of what I'm getting. You should go all out and make sure that you serve and serve well and leave a legacy. And that, at the moment, she hasn't done. Because if she had done anything good at all, it means that what we are seeing today has wiped out all the good that she's done while she was serving. And I'll plead and I'll use this medium to at least plead to everyone who is serving that when they give you the chance, use the place wisely. Do not use it as a place where you think, I've gotten the jackpot, so now let me make the best use of it. And that's what I'll say.
Right.
But to end it all, we need to know where she is.
Where she is.
Yeah.
We've come to the point where now the public opinion is that we're going to have the president some point in time in serving her sentence, offer her some prerogative of mercy by giving her clemency. You think that's far-fetched? That's very preemptive?
Good morning to you and my senior brothers here, as well as your viewers. To the people of Ghana, to His Excellency, we thank God for bringing him back to continue with the work he's been doing. You see, I'm not too sure where this is coming from, and I would not join in speaking about it, because I think that I don't have any evidence to the effect that there is even such a position being contemplated by His Excellency. Not at all. I mean, I don't think. But you see, let me say a few things. I think that it will serve a very great purpose this morning to bring certain things to light.
For clarity.
For clarity.
Okay.
First and foremost, do you know that there is a pending appeal in this matter?
There is?
Yes, there is. There is a pending appeal in this matter. I'll come to the matter proper. Now, the appeal, when, you know, in our criminal jurisprudence, the right to appeal is within 3 months after conviction. And then with the leave of the court, another 3 months. So put together 6 months. Now, so the 6 months, of course, has elapsed. It doesn't necessarily shut the door, but in that case, you have to file a special process for extension of time to appeal. This is tried with lawyers as practitioners. Okay. Do you understand? So their lawyers, her lawyers did that. and got the court to grant them that leave to appeal. As at the 12th day of February 2026, they had filed their submissions, written submission. I have a copy here, about 78 page.
Wow.
Yes, it's been filed. These things must be brought to the fore so people know. And it's within her right. It's a legal remedy available to her, especially, Roland, as she was tried in absentia. That point must be made. That she wasn't heard after a prima facie case was established against her. In fact, the trial started, I think she was charged sometime on the 30th day of January 2019. As at the 10th day of January 2022, she wasn't in court. That was the first time she wasn't in court. So between the 30th day of January 2019 to the 10th day of January 2022, she was always in court. That point must also be made.
Up to 2022.
22. Because the case traveled from 2019 to 2024. It was in 2022 that she did not appear in court as of January. And her lawyer, I think the former bar president in the Greater Accra region, Èxp0sèd. What happened on the day was that the court requested her presence, and let me also tell you what happened. She had been granted bail, admitted to bail, and she sought leave of the court to travel outside. She didn't run, and that point must also be made clear.
For medical?
For medical, you know all this. And we have to put the matters in the proper perspective. So she went on this medical. The court granted that leave, and she left. So, after she left, what we do not know is what happened within the period. I mean, how much time she needed. So at some point, the court, of course, did not have information. The court requested of her lawyers to provide information about her medical status. And her lawyers were not too sure. Her lawyers couldn't, let me put it bluntly, provide exactly what the issues were. And so the court, the state, through the Attorney General, requested for her to be tried in absentia, and the court granted it. These are all the legally accepted procedure, and so there is nothing wrong with it. So she was then tried in absentia. So all the accusations that were put before her, but let me also state that the fact that you are tried in absentia, lawyers know this, doesn't mean your lawyers can't be there. So if you are tried in absentia, your lawyers can still be there and advance.
I want to ask that, yeah.
Yes, your lawyers can be there. It happens. So her lawyers were there, but the only challenge is that after the determination of a prima facie case, when the state had conducted its case and was done, a determination of whether there is a case for her to answer came up. Their lawyers were of the view that the state had not been able to prosecute the matter, but the court disagreed. So she was called upon to open her defense, and she wasn't available. So that is why we say that she wasn't heard, not because the court didn't allow her, but she wasn't available to be heard. Now, this is it. After she was not heard, a determination was made. Let me also state that there were 78 counts, not 4, 78. We don't have time for me to go through all that.
He was not reading the counts.
Okay.
He was only,
no problem. But it's 78. For instance, just one. We are told by the state that there was this 1.5 million that Maslow gave to a certain company, Oba Tampa. Now, up for business, whatever, as loan. Then, that's what the state is saying. Madam Sedinam also advanced a further 500,000 through Maslow to them, but gave some conditions. That's what the state is saying, that in terms of the interest rate and all that. Now, what we are hearing is that the Oba Tampa people thought that the rate was too high in terms of the what do you call it, the interest. So they returned the money. But we are told that Madam Sedinam said no, it should be in cash. It should be in cash rather than the check.
As put before the court.
Put before the court. And therefore, they are saying that their investigations refute.
According to what the facts.
Yes. So according to, the fact as I've read, states that she refused to take the check and took cash.
Yes.
They are saying that their investigations prove that that 500,000 was never reflected in the accounts of Maslow. So that is what they conclude, that on the basis of that, she took the cash. That's stealing if it happened. Good. In a matter like this, I personally think that she should be heard. She should be heard.
That's your personal position.
My personal position. She should tell us
but the
what
prosecution
happened.
did adduce evidence to that effect.
The evidence of her taking the money?
That there was receipts.
There was receipt of payment. But where the money was kept or who took the money, of course, there was no evidence to that. I followed this matter. But I'm saying that...
We all did, yes.
Yeah, so I'm saying that she should be granted that hearing. Where is the money? But you see, it's not the court's fault. Let me emphasize that. You were also given an opportunity. You were not there.
We have a court of competent jurisdiction.
Yes.
And based on what the prosecution presented itself,
yes.
and then also the defense counsels as well.
The defense counsel, let me help you. The defense counsel only cross-examined. They didn't put across the case of Sedinam. They couldn't have, because it's a criminal matter. She should be heard. They couldn't have. It's not a civil matter. Let's educate our viewers. In fact, in a civil matter, when the judgment is like that, nobody is disputing the judgment. In a civil matter, this judgment could be set aside. In a civil matter, for lack of hearing or for not grant. Look, that is the first principle of law. The odi otrem partem rule. You must be heard. In fact, and it's coming from the point where we hear and we say that even God granted Adam a hearing before passing a verdict on him. That why did you do what I did? And so that's the first thing. Anytime a person is not heard, it is enough grounds to vacate a decision. But this is a criminal trial. At the moment, nobody is saying that it is not proper, because the court granted, if you are granted the opportunity to be heard and you don't avail yourself to be heard, that's not the court's problem. But I'm saying that is what they filed an appeal, and they've raised issues. If you read the what do you call it, the submissions, you would understand what the lawyers are seeking to raise. I'm not too sure where they've gotten to now, but that's at February they filed their submissions. For me, it is a proper conviction. Nobody is saying that it's not a proper conviction. But she also has a lot of rights under the law to explore. If she decides to explore those rights, nobody should have issues with her.
So you're laying the issues bare?
Bare. That is
so
what
she should go ahead, serve the sentence, but
of course,
she also
as we speak, he asked her whereabouts. Okay.
Where is she?
She is with the police now. The spokesperson for the government has stated categorically that the police has taken custody of her and preparing her for the prison facility. She will surely be there. As a government, we do not look. Is there any evidence that, yes, the former government started the extradition process? Did we in any way encumber it? We never came to say that no, because he was an appointee of President Mahama, we are seeking to hold the process. The process went on. She's been brought. The president's spokesperson or the minister for communication has stated categorically that we got him. He's with us. She's with us. We are preparing her to serve her sentence. What she does, beyond what the government would do, as in putting her to in prison, what she does is her personal right. And nobody can also take that away from her. If she goes through the process, of course, why? A court granted the state's plea for Mr. Dr. Èxp0sèd, if you remember, for him to open his defense in that case. He went on appeal, and the Court of Appeal quashed that decision. The same judge, her ladyship, Fiabutwe. So we are saying that there is nothing wrong with her exploring the rights under the law. But the state at the moment has a conviction, and we have to follow through to make sure she serves her sentence. And this is what we are doing. The state will never shield her. Let me emphasize. For any reason, she has to serve her sentence. If a higher court vacates this decision, that's to her advantage, and nobody can begrudge her. But at the moment, she is a convict. She has to serve her sentence, and that's exactly what the state is doing.
Dr. Zato, you say that the commitment of the states and hearing because the extradition process started in July 2024 and subsequently continued by the Office of the Attorney General currently in the Mahama administration, you could say that there's overall commitment to this. That if you commit a crime, we've had a judgment pass, you're supposed to serve this sentence, and you're not available, it's an absentia, but there's an extradition appeal to the US, and that has been met. It also means that it shows a certain commitment, is that not it?
Well, thank you and good morning. And I must say, I enjoyed listening to the lawyer. He's done an excellent job of what we call spin.
Spinning.
Spinning.
The lawyer has spin.
The tag is a spin doctor. He has spin this thing so nicely that I'm impressed. The reason is that he's spinning in such a way to prepare grounds, to prepare our minds for whatever might happen.
Why do you say that that component of a submission is, so to speak, propaganda or spinning?
I didn't say propaganda, I said spinning. I'll tell you, I'm saying that it's spin, excellent spin. He's telling you that this woman could literally walk tomorrow. Yeah. And then when he does, hide behind the laws of this country. He's telling you that this woman could be given, look, whatever happens to her, if you see her on your streets tomorrow, if you see her at a party tomorrow, whatever you see her, the lawyer has made a case that it's all legal. It's all just, it's all
I don't understand. You said that
I'm saying that is a spin he's giving. That's a spin.
He's laid a good table.
Very good, very fertile ground for that case. He's preparing our minds that don't be shocked if tomorrow you go to a birthday party and see Sedinam Tamakloe there. Don't be shocked tomorrow if you see Sedinam Tamakloe at a party saying a Yezu, a Yeza. Don't be surprised because he's telling you that these are the issues that can happen. And that is what I'm scared. I'm not the only one scared about it. Manasa Azura would be scared about it. What's his name? Bentel, not Bentel, the other one. Imani Kujo, Franklin Kujo is scared about it. All rational thinking Ghanaians are scared about this. They are scared about it because they're asking themselves a question. What exactly is going to happen? And they're also asking because they do not have a lot of faith in the current Attorney General. Wow. And I'll tell you why. Because they mentioned it. Franklin Kujo actually said, dear AG.
Quote Franklin, you.
No. I'm letting my grounds. If you tell me. Actually ask the question. That I actually asked the Attorney General, dear AG, don't do this. Why does he think it is necessary for him to ask the Attorney General, don't do this? I will tell you why. But first of all, immediately before I do that, there's a question about foreign policy and national interest. The Americans have sent us Sedinam Tamakloe. In exchange for what?
I don't understand.
In American national policy, they don't do anything just a favor. They don't do anything for free. Whatever foreign policy America is pursuing is to protect one thing alone, America's national interests.
Thank you.
They don't do things for free. There has to be an interest, a rational interest established for them when they are pursuing their national policy. What is it here? Watch this space. You will see it very soon. Because look, remember so long we said they talk about boot tricker and they talk about all those things. We talk about what is happening. I'm saying watch this space and see what the rational self-interest of America, because they have a very nice way of pursuing it, of protecting it, and of getting what they want. They will get what they want. We'll watch and see. Look, one, the crime. This was a woman who was in charge of protecting social services to vulnerable members of the society. Very vulnerable members of society. She squandered the money. Now she's convicted. We can say she stole the money because the court says she did. She stole the money and she ran away with it. They have victims listed all over this country. They are victims listed all over this country based on what this woman has done. So whatever we are doing today, let's remember the victims. This was not a victimless crime. People's lives were shattered. People's businesses were shattered. People's dreams were shattered because of the greed and selfishness of this government employee. We must always remember those victims. Secondly, we must understand the regime. And that is why people are not celebrating. They are scared. One, imagine whether was it Godfred who prosecuted her. Imagine Godfred decided to also issue what is called a nolle prosequi in this case. Would we have been where we are today?
I don't understand.
If Godfred had issued a nolle prosequi, stop prosecuting this one, would we have been where we are today? You are telling me why the Imani guy and all this are scared? They are scared because of the nolle prosequas. They are scared because they are afraid that this Attorney General, with a penchant for nolle prosequas for members of the government, might do the same thing.
When I say my panels need to efa Sedinam Tamakloe a boy a born aba a obe 7 and 10 years jail no ene ensem bi a ekeka ho abusua subscribe ya no subscribe no wa notification bell no so no wa share ama onua so anya bi na bi ba political line so a na de bi aba abedom ya da wase